I was just sticking makeup up my nose.
Oh, good.
Beauty from the outside in.
Fabulous. Are we ready?
I suppose.
Welcome to RuPaul's Best Friend Review, bringing you a review of Season 13 of RuPaul's Drag Race. With your hosts Annabelle, Lecter, and Filth.
Welcome back to RuPaul's Best Friend Review, Season 13, Episode 5. I'm Annabelle Lecter.
And I'm Filth.
And it's get to the reviewing! You don't know what that was. I don't know what that was either. Ta-da! Oof.
Oh my god.
So, let's start off with the comments from last week. My phone doesn't recognise me in drag. I know I've done a good job with my makeup when my phone doesn't recognise me. So we're starting off with Joe, who is back in the comments. Welcome back, Joe. Thank you very much for joining us again. So, two moments that stood out for me. One, RuPaul asking Utica if she smoked weed. And two, Denali's lip sync. That was the best lip sync in drag history. And I've watched it at least 20 times. Correct.
Yes.
Absolutely. And secondly, Nigel is back in the comments. Nigel said, Annabelle demanding that they start filming even though Filth hasn't finished shaving. Let's get on with episode 5. Episode 5 is the bag ball.
Ball bag.
We start the episode by walking back into the workroom. Kimora is gone. Candy actually openly says that she doesn't think that Denali should be in the bottom 2 and that Elliot should have been in the bottom 2.
She actually started this in Untucked last week.
She guns for Elliot.
It was so unnecessary.
Yeah. And I've noticed this since Elliot brought up the whole, oh, if your sister's on a season before, you go home early. She's been gunning for her since then. But something else, Candy thought that she was top 2. Incorrect. She then talks about how she thinks that Simone is competition because she's got 2 wins under her belt. Tamisha Iman is not having it.
So right. If this was so unnecessary, all she said was Simone's the biggest competition, which, like, logically, she is. Statistically, is the exact word I wanted. Thank you. Yes,
You are
exactly.
welcome.
I do also have to say, she wants to call out Candy Muse for being arrogant at this moment.
Yeah.
But actually, she's in the confessionals going, little girl is not on my level. I am this and I am that. And I'm like, well, you haven't really shown it. So isn't that also technically, if we look in the dictionary, arrogance?
However, I want to pick up on something that Candy actually says here. Candy actually says she better shut the fuck up or she's going to find herself a new enemy. Like, for me, I didn't like the way that she worded this because it felt like she was trying to stop herself from going, she better shut the fuck up or I'm going to lump her.
I always just can't help get out of my head rather. Whoa. I just always can't know no words. This was all in confessional. She said some of this stuff, and like the confessional, they filmed like 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh god, how angry was I there?"
Yeah, she was like, "Give me a level from 1 to 10, how angry I was," and they just went about 13. It does kind of remind me of certain other queens that both on Drag Race and off Drag Race in the real world that don't know how to articulate their feelings very well, so they articulate it through like a violent, confrontational kind of manner.
Like,
Hello?
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 Can you hear me now?
Hello?
hello.
So, this mini challenge called Baby Got Back, where they all dressed as babies and did a dance line on that stage. That stage is finally getting some use.
Now it makes sense.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how uncomfortable did this make you?
It didn't make me uncomfortable, actually.
Oh, wow, okay.
They were all like cartoon parodies of babies.
I'm not kink shaming, but adult babies make me really uncomfortable.
Cancel us, daddy!
Lala re-wins this mini challenge and gets absolutely no advantage in the main challenge. Aww. And then we are announced the main challenge. It is 3 looks. The first look is mixed bag, which is to do with sayings to do with bags or pony bag sayings. Money bags, which is basically executive realness, and bag ball eleganza that has to be completely made out of bags. And I'm very surprised that they did not mention Davina De Campo in this.
Yes.
Very surprised.
I was so shocked.
I thought,
absolutely.
Oh, this is inspired by Davina's car boot sale look.
I was even shocked that they didn't even have like that bag there.
We're in the workroom. Candy gets really heated that Elliot got to something before she did. Am I missing something between this Elliot and Candy thing?
What I think has happened is they're in a really stressful situation and Candy feels like she's not doing as well as she thinks she would expect to. So she's trying to find something to blame it on. That's why she was so attached to this idea of, it was my outfit that held me back because my outfit wasn't what I planned to wear. And right now, she's sort of preparing herself for, I'd have done really well if I'd got the fabric I wanted, but Elliot took it. And yeah, she keeps attacking Elliot because Elliot did something that she didn't like once, and she's gone, well, this is the person I'm going to take things out on a little bit.
Yeah, I thought that.
But I do like the way Elliot's handling it.
Simone seems to be struggling, which surprises me with her being, drag family with Gigi Good. And then we come to the conversation that we thought we were going to get last week, which is Tamisha put LaLaRi into drag for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And there's maybe like a little bit of animosity there because LaLaRi didn't take it as seriously as Tamisha would like.
Oh, I didn't feel that. I think what she was trying to make clear in my eyes was that she's not really we're not really like drag mother and daughter.
Yeah.
I didn't think she was going like she didn't take it seriously.
Yeah, I kind of get that. But it was more along the lines of, Tamisha put her in drag for the first time and then she didn't really do anything with it.
I want to mention, we get to see some really nice moments from Gottmik and from Utica where they are helping people out. Something I really loved was from Gottmik when she was talking about Simone and how Simone needs reminding that she's that bitch. I liked that. There's definitely like something quite caring and parental about Gottmik actually, for such like a young and not like the smiliest queen.
And also with Utica comes across as very caring, very loving. Another fun moment in this is Tamisha giving a lesson on ballroom. We got the references. She has this moment where she's hosting the ball in the workroom. The queens have a little bit of a walk. It's a fun little light-hearted moment.
Yes.
But also, it references some of the big names in ballroom.
I think we see so many of these sort of lessons, especially in some of the previous seasons. We see like these lessons in history, in queer history.
Yeah.
And actually this was sort of a different one that obviously millions of people know about ballroom just from Pose happening. And people love that. It's internationally renowned.
Love.
But this was just a gorgeous moment of us seeing them enjoying that in a modern setting. And I think it really felt very natural to have Imelda. It just felt really correct that Tamisha was leading this. She felt like the right character that would not be in the ball anymore, but would be leading the ball and emceeing the ball. Tamisha loves balls. All
right, so we're on to work-throughs. We're into the work-throughs, and they're doing them in twos. Starting off with Candy and Simone.
I actually think it's very important to hear about the fact that the biggest contender at the moment.
No.
Who always seems so confident and great.
Yeah.
Also struggles with this inner saboteur.
However, we've had this conversation every season since season 2.
Well, we all got it, bitch. I have an outer saboteur.
Yeah, it's me. I am Phil's outer saboteur. Hey, bitch.
Can you hear me now?
And we also learned that Candy Muse just doesn't listen.
You or understand.
As soon as Rue goes, and I'm hoping the other girls hear this, I'd be like, yes. Candy's just like, it's nothing to do with me, I don't care.
I'm so glad that Candy also questioned why RuPaul did that screaming laugh. It was so weird. So bizarre.
I thought the same thing. I was like, I don't understand why they're laughing. The next two are Mick and Utica.
Yes.
And we find out that Mick went to fashion school, and Utica comes out with all these little quirky, weird references, and I'm just here for it.
The first thing when these two come up for me, RuPaul loves having banter with Gottmik.
But I think that the good thing is Gottmik has got the banter.
Also, something I noticed being, a fashion queen, when they're talking about the garments, Utica describes the thing as panels and gauze.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so she
she gets
really
it.
learn.
Yeah.
Like, she actually really knows what she's doing.
Yeah. Well,
because like I don't feel like any other queen on Drag Race has ever even thought the word gauze.
I mean, the only queen that thought of gauze is when Shangela was calling out Raja's hair outfit. She's like, "You've stuck hair to all that gauze."
It's a different kind of gauze, just in case you didn't know.
I know.
As long as you know. I just like to check.
Finally, in this section is Joey J and Lala Ree. The scrunchy boot thing.
Oh my god.
Killed me off.
Joey J for me is just such like a little airhead that is completely like a little ray of sunshine all the time.
Yeah.
Whatever's happening, whatever someone says, even if someone says something not nice, he's like, oh, okay, cool. And then just let's move on and talk about something else.
Lala Ree, on the other hand, just goes, I'm inspired by Beyonce.
And I knew that.
Grace Jones.
I knew she was inspired by Beyonce.
You knew that she was inspired. You knew that she was inspired by Beyonce.
I knew that she was inspired by Beyonce.
But did you know that she's inspired by Grace Jones? We could get a video message.
This completely random, completely awkward message from like the creative director of Coach.
He has never watched an episode of Drag Race in his whole life.
That's the other thing. No one really mentioned Purse First this episode. This is just the most random little plug for a bag. Weird. Who is going and watching Drag Race and thinking, I'm going to guess hundreds of pounds on this bag? What just happened?
The automatic light in the hall came on. Next thing is something that we've mentioned before. Candy's creepiness to Joey J.
I didn't see this as much creepy because she wasn't like being as gross about it, but she was really like shitty about this outfit.
Bitch, your outfit was bad last week. Don't try me. Yeah.
It's always the people who are worst at stuff that are focused on other people's capability in that thing.
Absolutely.
And you know my motto. My motto is that if you're gonna focus on someone else, like don't do it. I'm gonna workshop it, but like you know what I mean. I always say it every single episode. I'm like, stop focusing on other people, focus on you.
Hello.
Can you hear me now?
The Queens have a very important conversation in the workroom about the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm very glad that they did this because
absolutely,
it's a very big platform as RuPaul's Drag Race. I was shocked by Lala Ree's emotional response to this.
Yeah.
Misha hit the nail on the head that we've done a lot of good work, but there's still a lot more work to go, and not just for the Black Lives Matter movement, but also for trans lives as well.
Yeah.
And I think and I'm going to say this now. It was very important for the fan base to watch, because some of the things that the fan base has been coming out with against Candy Muse this week has been fucking disgusting. And quite frankly, there's no place for it. I don't think there's any place for it in the fandom. We can't stop it. We can't just stop people from watching the show. But I hope that those people that have done this stuff to Candy Muse, and not just Candy Muse, but Candy Muse's mother as well. Like, they've gone out to find Candy Muse's mum. Go back and watch this section and go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
This behaviour is not okay within the fan base of RuPaul's Drag Race. Mic drop. That's all I've got to say about that for now. Okay, so we move on to the main stage. First things first, RuPaul comes out in this pink dress. What did you think of this?
I felt like she looked like a cheap 90s RuPaul doll. My issue was the dress wasn't great, but my issue was the hair was too yellow to wear with a pink dress. That's why it just looked cheap, like a cheap doll, like that they make her like a fake RuPaul doll to me.
Good. Michelle is in leopard print, gorge, and Nicole Bayer looks like she's cosplaying Vanilla Cram's Goth Kitty, which could be because she did Michelle in week 1, so... Alright, so the way that we're going to work this is we're going to do each look with a toot and a boot, maybe a quick comment.
I actually asked Facebook to tell me what their punny bag puns would have been.
Yeah.
And no one gave me a good one. I had all the best ones. So I said I'd have been either a French baguette.
Yeah.
Or I think I probably would have been, I don't want to say colostomy bag because that's not what I mean.
Like a catheter bag.
Catheter bag! I think that's what I would have been. I think I'd have been a catheter bag. I genuinely think it would have just been so ridiculous. My first thought was carpet bag, and I'd have done like a dress that, I don't remember who does it, but some drag queen does a routine where they pull a load of shit out their dress and it's like collapsible lamps and things.
Oh, okay. I kept on saying Bagatha Christie, which isn't a real thing.
But it's a pun.
My first thought was Bag of Tricks.
Then it was a good name.
But then the other one, I was thinking maybe Cats Out the Bag.
I do like that too.
Doing like a play on that.
We would have done that, but this is what the girls did. First of all, we got Denali, who was a crash test dummy titled Airbag. What did you think? Toot or boot?
I tooted this.
Absolutely same.
I enjoyed
Absolutely.
this.
Next up was Joey, who was an IV bag.
I booted this.
Really?
Yes, because I felt like it was half-assed.
I just thought she looked hot, so I suited her. Lala Ree came out as a bag of bones. It was like a bag at the bottom. She was in a black dress with bones scattered up it. Complete an accident.
Concept 7, execution 2.
Booty McBoot Boot. Next up, Elliot with 2 T's as a gift bag, a dollar store gift bag.
Boot.
It wasn't quite there, but I like the title. You know I love dressing as a present. I loved that she had the handles coming out of her nipples. Next up, Miss Tamisha Rahman, she's coming for you, and she is an old bag.
Boot.
Absolutely boot. I wrote Simon for the next one, but it's definitely Simone up next. Simone is fun bags.
Oh, tooted this.
Yes, that wig was shit. Absolutely toot. It was camp and stupid. Simone was followed by Olivia Lux. She was punching bag.
Because I know that some of the fans have been like, you copied Simone. She didn't know she was both going to turn up with a fucking boxing
Absolutely
outfit.
not.
It's a soft toot because I think Simone did it better.
I know, and I feel really bad about that, but I completely agree. Because I have something to compare it to, a soft toot. I'm completely with you.
Yeah.
This was followed by Got Mick as a body bag.
I would give this a shoot.
I wrote toot with a capital T, but I'm not quite a shoot, but I love this. This was actually done by Marco. This was followed by Rose as bagpipes.
A soft toot on the bagpipes.
Really? I really, really loved it. Tina Burner as a brown bag, carrying a brown bag sort of situation.
A soft toot.
The execution was a really basic brown dress with some shit stuck to it.
Yeah.
But this was followed by Candy Muse, who did Bag of Tricks.
Boo.
Really? I love this.
Boo.
I thought this was so well executed.
Boo.
Toot.
Boo. She would have been red down for this outfit if she didn't have the actual tricks. Boo.
How about Utica, who was a doggy bag?
This was a toot for me.
I loved this. Absolutely loved this.
Camp. Second look. Executive realness, which, just on a personal note, this is my least favourite category.
It wasn't realness. Miss Moneybags.
Miss Moneybags. This is my least...
I just wanted to be clear it's not realness because of someone that did realness and it was shit, mother. It was shit.
Okay.
Up first for Miss Moneybags was Denali, obviously, in this Cruella de Vil inspired look.
Two. I loved this.
Yeah. I didn't love it, but it was a 2. It got a 2. So this was followed by Joey J, who was sort of like a Dr. Evil kind of sexy Bond villain sort of sitch.
Yeah, boo.
I gave it a very basic toot. Lala Ree, who was completely wigless and bald, and was wearing sort of a colourful leopard print.
Yep.
She described it as a powerful African bitch sort of situation.
Yeah, 2. Enjoyed this. This was a 2. Mid-ground.
I agree. This was a toot.
Yeah.
I'm not loving, though, that they're always very celebratory of wigless queens if they're bald.
Yeah.
But not if they're not bald. Next we had Elliot with 2 T's. She was in a red blazer with huge shoulder pads and like a little blonde moment.
A soft shoot.
I agree. I absolutely agree. How about Tamisha Iman?
This was a boot.
Thank God.
This was
who are you today, Annabelle Lecter?
Who is she? Who is she?
This was another basic suit. 2 in a row. I cannot handle another crap flat wig. Next up, Simone. She described it as like Fifth Element, and I agree it was like the singer from Fifth Element, but it was pink. It had like the red sort of afro mullet.
Yeah.
Oh.
This was a toot for me.
Yep.
Loved
I
the
agree.
colour, loved the material.
Yeah, I love this. I love red and pink together. And we weren't meant to say as much about any of this, so let's not, and let's move on. Right. So, up next was Olivia Lux. She was in sort of like a businesswoman. It was a blue cape, a red wig, and it had stripes on the inside.
I don't remember it. Okay, who's next?
Next up was Gottmik.
This was a toot.
This for me was the perfect mixture of drag and fashion. I shoot this look. Next up was Rosé, who was wearing a big business Bette Midler look.
This was a toot.
Yeah, it was a toot. Next up was Tina Burner in a houndstooth. She described it as Miranda Priestley houndstooth look. Had a big peplum and a jaunty hat.
Yeah, it was a mid-ground toot for me.
Yeah, this was good for Tina. For me, I was good toot. Yep. Next up, we have Candy Muse in a CEO look.
I enjoyed this.
I really wanted to like it, but I didn't. There was just something off, but I couldn't boot it. I honestly couldn't because it was all right. Finally, for this section, we have Utica. I wrote this. This was her Versace.
Oh yeah, Versace. I love Versace.
Me too.
Chicago look.
I did not enjoy this. If she'd have balanced the fringe at the bottom with a bit more fringe, it would have been great. Or if she'd have took off those big circular earrings on her chest, I'd have been like, okay, it balances out. It's a nice black dress and it works.
For me, this was the most fashion of her looks. So that was it for Miss Moneybags.
You have no authority here.
Filth Quen.
No authority at all.
This is a meeting called by two
drag queens.
Read the ugly bitches.
Read them and understand them!
Whatever.
I'm so drunk. I'm so drunk now.
Well, 22 minutes seemed like a lot. So, that is the end of the episode. Now, normally, we would not talk about Untucked.
Because we're good Christian gals.
You've watched Untucked. I've not. I've watched the clip.
On YouTube, legal to get.
Yes.
Let's be honest. We all know, just from the chatter on Facebook, one big thing happened this Untucked. I'm scared to know what you think, but I'm interested to know.
So I've seen two clips. Candy telling Elliot that she needs to be more self-aware. Elliot's been using certain descriptions of other queens, calling Simone's do-rag look ratchet.
Oh, I didn't know that bit.
Saying that Candy's ghetto. These words that have negative connotations, but they obviously don't in Elliot's mind. And the other clip that I saw was...
Did you see what Tamisha said? I know I have a different opinion to the mass, which is because they're wrong and not me. Tina Turner of NSYNC fame. Tina says, who are the tops and who are the bottoms?
Yeah.
What critique did you get? That kind of normal questioning.
Yeah.
And Tamisha goes, right, well, I want to say first that there are some queens here I don't like. She was trying to say that I will commend anyone who's done a good job, even though I don't like you. And even if those of you that I'm not best friends with, but what she said is, there are some queens that I do not like, and I have to commend you for this. And then they start going, excuse me. And Candy's like, oh, okay, like, what? Like, what's Candy? Doesn't take it well, understandably, I suppose, in a way.
Yeah.
All I think about is when the vixen said, everyone's telling me how to react and no one's telling her how to act. Gottmik's going, which was incredible, and I lived for. But Tamisha started this.
Tamisha started this. However, I don't think that either of them are in the right. Candy's reaction, unfortunately, went straight to a threat of violence.
I want to commend Candy. I want to commend her for knowing what she is like and saying, I'm taking myself out of this situation. Because sometimes that's all you can do as a person. I cannot focus on Candy when what I think Tamisha did, she got read by all the judges for her looks, her makeup, hopefully her hair, even though they didn't say anything about that. And she's come back and she's gone, I'm angry and I need to fight.
Right.
And she knew exactly who to go to for a fight. Some people need an argument to like get out of the system. Yeah. And she went, I know who's going to blow up.
Yeah.
Tamisha Rahman is coming for you to take her anger out, and I'm just not about it.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
I get that. I totally get that. When Candy sat there and went, do you think I'm arrogant? Do you think I'm arrogant? Do you think I'm arrogant? I absolutely think that some of those girls shit themselves and went, no, I don't think you are. When You know, they may have a different opinion.
That was a weird thing to do. And I'm Joey, my little baby Joey J going, this is arrogant, doing
what
this.
What are you doing now?
Watching that made me more sad that Elliot's gone. No! Made me more sad that Joey J's gone.
Yeah.
Came down to it. She was ready to go, no, hun, I'm holding you accountable for what you're doing right now.
You was incorrect. Absolutely.
Yes. I just want to say, Annabelle Lecter.
Yes.
The things I was dreading today were anything involving Tamisha. And I just thought we were going to sit here for hours bitterly arguing where you were going to have loved Tamisha.
I agree. This was not a
cheers to you, bitch.
For Tamisha. I've run out of drink. Cheers. That was episode 5 of...
There it was!
RuPaul's Best Friend Review.
Yes.
We say goodbye to Joey J, unfortunately. But let us know in the comments what you thought of this episode, and we will be back next week. We're going to start posting the videos on a Saturday, so we will be back next Saturday, so you can watch it just before the new episode. But for now, I have been Annabelle Lecter.
And I've been Phil.
We'll see you in a bit. Ta-da!
I just like to do hand things. Very into hand things right now. Very into voguing right now.
Telling into voguing right now.
Never compare me to Vanessa Ann Hudgens. Ugh.
Ta-da!
Ugly bitches.